I just saw a video of a girl saying something along the lines of her boyfriend worked like 12, 13 hours, said he was too tired to like stop and pick up food on the way home. Been there, done that. And so she was like, I'm cooking him and taking him dinner. The very first comment when I opened up that comment section, and what does he do for you, sis? Okay. I'm going to talk in a very broad sense. In this generation, it's all about me, me, me. I. What do I get? What do I want? Since when did it leave everybody's brain that a relationship was supposed to be a partnership? When did that leave? Common sense has left the building. And everybody, me. What does he do for me? What does she do for me? What do I get out of this? What am I going to get? I'm not going to be in a relationship until I get everything that I need.
It is honestly scary how many women have this mindset when it comes to dating and relationships because they are unhappy with themselves, guys. That's the truth of it. Like, they are not happy within themselves and they are really seeking somebody else to do the things to make them feel positive feelings. And then it has to be like this constant cycle because you can't just do something once or twice and in even one day and then have them be enough, because once she gets that good feeling, it doesn't last long because it's not coming from within her. It's coming from an outside source. So even if you're doing it on repeat and he's doing like 10 to 20 things for you in a day and she's getting these bits and pieces and she feels good in the moment, believe me when I say that those things are going to be extremely short term and no man is going to be able to maintain that. So at some point it's going to break down and then she's going to have a large issue with the lack of him doing things for her. And then the other part of this, I think she hit the nail on the head, is that we are pretty much focused nowadays on individualism and we are talking about us, our happiness, our health. It's a societal issue right now and it is harmful towards relationships because people are in this mindset when they're young and in their 20s and then they're trying to find somebody that is a partner that they really need to give to selflessly for it to work out long term. And if they are too focused on me, it's not going to happen. There's just not space in their brain to just think, give. What can I do for them? I love them. What will make them happy? It is a very difficult thing. It's impossible, I think, to get there when it's all about, oh, what's he doing for me? What's he doing for me? How's he making me feel? Oh, what did that mean? Like, and this is the other part that she didn't say, and this is my opinion, is that even as a content creator that's talking about relationships and I analyze a lot on here, I think that there's too much analyzing going on within relationships. And especially for women, you know, like I think that there's almost too much information that we're intaking, especially from social media. And we're getting all the advice and we're getting all the tips and we're getting all the, oh, if he does this, this is what it means. There's so much analyzing that it's almost overwhelming and it's difficult to get out of that mindset and to just stop analyzing and just do for them. Just be content. Video number 2 is a wife speaking to her husband, getting his opinion on a recent video that they had posted that showed her engagement band, and it had a very negative reaction from a lot of women in the comments. Before I say more, let's watch the video.
I think that's kind of the point that I was making in another video where the woman was like, something like, until my husband equals my salary or something like, basically she wanted to get paid more as a stay-at-home mom than being paid the equivalent of a McDonald's worker, I think it was. Basically, she felt like as a stay-at-home mom, I'm making as much as a McDonald's worker, okay? And she posted that. And my thought was, you've separated from the partnership and you've made yourself a contractor. So basically what you're saying is, I don't want to be a part of this team anymore. I want to be an entity unto myself. I want to be my own thing. I want to do my own thing. And men are like, that's not what I signed up for. That's not what I thought our vows were. And they don't care. They just care about how they feel.
The reason why men mistake politeness and kindness for flirting is because they would never be polite or kind to someone they don't find attractive. Do what you will with that. Find me in the comments.
There's not a lot to do with it. That's something that you made up. And it's dumb.
I think this is something that every woman needs to know about men, just so that maybe it'll kind of help you better understand them a little bit. All men have this little childhood wound, and every time that they feel hurt, or they feel like they're being attacked, or they feel like they're not good enough, or they feel ashamed, they were never taught how to deal with the emotional part, and when they tried to understand it themselves, they were told to push it down, it doesn't matter, don't feel it. So now in the new aged time of 2025, and I think we're all kind of growing out of this era where we expect men to just be men and shove their feelings down. I think now we're wanting men to feel better. Mental health is more of a thing. You know, we're kind of coming into like being more accepting to things that might not have been acceptable in the past. I don't feel like we're really living in the like rub some dirt on it. Now we're kind of like go get a band-aid, you know? So when it comes to men, they're trying to learn how to express feelings because they just run so much off of logic that understanding emotions isn't really their thing. And I know that we're really good at it. We are very good at emotions, dude. Catch me the week before my period and I am fueled up with emotions. And so because we operate emotionally, we just expect that they should too. Because you're like, well, why don't you understand this? And it's because they literally were never taught how to understand what's going on here. In fact, they were told to ignore it. Shove it down, don't feel it. So it is our job as women to adapt with them, and when they show up vulnerable, when they show up emotional, you do not use it against them. You don't get to be pissed off, and when you want to be bitchy and you want to fucking poke at him, you use his emotions against him. Fuck you if you do that. Because now you went and fucked it up for the girl that wants him to be vulnerable and would encourage that, but you went and fucked him up so much he doesn't even want to do it anymore. And then that girl can't get through to him because he's not being fully vulnerable with her. She ends up being like, well, I want a vulnerable relationship, so I'm gonna go seek it elsewhere. So they break up and he now has an abandonment wound and she has a, well, maybe I'm never gonna find the perfect guy, they're all assholes, and she goes into relationships like that. And she does everything to create that for herself. This is why we're all fucked up. So yes, it should be an expectation that he shows up in the relationship with respect. That is never a question. But when you start to see these childhood wounds kind of come up, encourage him to do it, but encourage him to do it in a way that is healthy. Sometimes their emotions come out and it's not a very healthy way, but they don't quite understand that. But it's our job to be understanding to that and walk them through it and be a safe place for them to fall. When you choose the relationship, you choose to love in the relationship. And until everyone can be on the same page about that, stay the fuck out of relationships. Anyway, you know I fucking love you.
So a guy had an interesting comment here. He says, let me put you on game, young lady. It's not about little boy abandonment wounds or whatever you want to say it is. The fact of the matter is that when we get to a certain age, we realize that we have a purpose that is outside of ourselves. We have a responsibility to our family and our future. A future that we're probably not going to get a chance to see and is probably going to happen 2 or 3 generations from now. Maybe nobody even remembers us, right? He's speaking facts. And he says, what other people think about us is not important to the cause. What other people think about us does not contribute or take away from the things that we have to do. Sacrifice as a man is our purpose, right? A lot of times modern women like to think that or say, well, he's got an issue. No, a man has a goal. He has a goal. So this type of all this talking and wounds and this stuff, no, I just at some point in time I understand how the world works, right? Maybe that's something that I dealt with back in the past, but I understand how the world works. It is what it is. I got to get through it. I need to get to the other side so I can get to the journey that I started, so I can get to the goal, the finish line of the journey that I started. That's it. Not all men have issues. Not all men are hurt. Not all men have daddy or mommy issues. Just what I have to do as a man.
I'm so sorry. This video is for men and women equally. I get it. Tell me how I seen the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life, and I was like, I see why niggas do what niggas do. I see why niggas do what niggas do. Myself, I wanted to take the girl out. I wanted to take the girl out, show her the greatest time of her life, and if I never met her again, I'll be perfectly fine. She was so fine. And I'm not talking about an IG baddie. I'm talking about natural beauty. On top of the skin just, the body just, the smile just, and then her voice, I said, oh. You know when a woman has just like such a sensual voice? I said, wow. I too would. Like, raw, next question. That's my Shayla. I was just like, this is crazy. Like, how you woman so, oh my God. I was about to say, hey, would you like to join my relationship as an extension for me? The girl look good, she look good, she look good, she look good. Me start questioning every single thing I've ever known in my life. I said, wow, am I gay? Why are you gay? Am I gay? Like, the girl just said good. Jesus Christ, man. It's crazy out here. Because why would you look like that? And then she gonna compliment me. I said, oh, hell nah. She really want me. This could be my Shayla. For real, for real. Like, I loved it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this could really be my Shayla. It hurts because I want her. I want her bad. I want her on my soul. Like, I ain't never said that word on my soul, but on my soul, I want her. Oh my God. I would swerve on that corner for her. Like, what? You know how men tricks. No, it's not just tricks, but men with money, whatever. You know how they would see a pretty girl and just give them the money. Me want to give her my money. Me want to give her all my ID. What can she do with my ID? I don't know, but she just looked good. Her soul was just like, wow. It just presented itself in front of me, and I was like, wow, I could marry this woman right now. If she went on her knee, I would go on my knee too. I would. That's crazy. I love women. Bye.
And the funny thing is, here you have plenty of women co-signing this line of thinking. Whenever a man says anything mild, he's objectifying a woman.
I can see now why men pull away emotionally, because it just happened to me today, and I got to see from a man's point of view what it's like to date a woman sometimes. This is no shade towards women in any way, because I'm a woman. I completely understand, and I'm sure I do this as well. But it was funny because I came home, me and my sister lived together, and as soon as I get in the house, she just starts bitching at me about things that she wished I was doing, like cleaning the cat's litter box, setting up certain appointments, whatever it was, around the house. And then all of a sudden I was thinking, like, no wonder I always just go to my room. Like, I don't want to be around you when as soon as they come into the door, you're just kind of nagging. What I was realizing is women do this all the time. We emotionally need to regulate. Like, there are certain times that you say, okay, if I want to actually get my partner to do something for me, because all that did is made me want to pull away and be like, fuck you, I'm not going to do it. And I can understand why men never do what you want them to do. You're like, I've told you a million times to do this, I've told you to do this, and you're like, why can't I get him to do things? Because you're not saying it in the best way.
If you really just believe that men are valid in their experience and in their emotions, for example, when they say that they don't want to be bombarded the second that they walk in the door from work, believe them that that is a valid thing, that they should have some downtime the second that they walk in the door. Unfortunately, not all women get this, and they actually will either one, have to experience it themselves like this woman did, or two, they just will never get it. And they're going to be fighting this constant battle of pretending like what men want and their feelings are not valid, and that men are just always the ones in the wrong. And the truth is that the man of the last woman deserves better.
My soon-to-be husband, like, he treats me well, he respects me, I don't have to ask for anything, but at the same time, I also do what I'm supposed to do with a woman. I cook, I clean, I suck, I fuck, I shut the fuck up. So I know how to keep my man.
If a man has been through shit and he hasn't actually, like, dealt with it, and you want to push it out of him, you gonna see some shit. No, but I'm not pushing. Baby, talk to me. What's wrong? Because he's quiet for 3 hours? He don't want to talk to you right now.
Because he was probably taught as a child.
That's not true. It's just how they're wired. They're not always talkative. They need their space. They don't always want you in their fucking face. And if you are going to be in their face, why are you nagging about why he's been quiet? Rub that man's feet while he's quiet. Sit on his lap while he plays his game.
But look at
a lot
children.
of girls complain about shit that's stupid.
wake my husband up with a massage and coffee every single morning, and every single night I'm scratching his scalp and like giving him a back massage until he falls asleep. It's important that he falls asleep first. And I would say something that's romantic that he does for me. Well, since I do all of the cooking, it's nice when he takes me out for dinner because it's like a little break and it's just special. And then also even just while we're here in Miami, he's kind of like my little bodyguard, like making sure if there's any men walking by, he just like puts his arm around me and just making sure that I'm protected. That's really romantic, and that's something that a woman could never do for a man.
W. Wow.
Fantastic. Wow. Okay. I like it.
You are blessed.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if a man offers a walk, a coffee, or a hike for a first date, he does not value you, or he's cheap, or broke, and he's not dateable. But if you accept, you've got low self-esteem, and you got to work on that. Well, you might be wondering, what do I do if a man offers a hike, a coffee, a walk for a first date? And the answer is simple. Ignore, ghost, unmatch. It's not even worth a second of your time to come up with whatever you're going to say back. Once a lowballer, always a lowballer. And you might be saying, oh, well, what about communicating my needs? No, communication is for married people.
This is the worst advice because there are so many high quality men and women that see coffee dates or dates where you're just getting one drink, you're getting together briefly, you're going for a walk. They see that kind of date as completely acceptable. And I'm going to tell you, one of the main reasons why is because they hold themselves actually to a higher standard than many other people because they value their time. They don't want to waste their time, especially for men that are very successful. They don't want to spend 4 hours with a woman that they meet in real life, and they already know within 5 minutes that this isn't it. But then they have to painfully continue the date. And for women, you don't want a man to be like guilted into spending a bunch of time with you because you don't want to misconstrue how he's feeling about you, which a lot of women will do. A lot of women will think that a man likes her when he really doesn't. He's just kind of not able to say it. This is why instead of the 3 to 4 hour dinner date, having just a brief walk or a cup of coffee is so brief that it avoids any amount of pressure to have to force anything. So for any ladies that might be listening, let me tell you that him offering a coffee date or a walk does not diminish what he actually thinks of you. And if you are willing to accept something like that, it does not mean that you have low self-confidence. That's my opinion, but guys, let me know what you think in your experience. Do you offer coffee dates, or is that kind of not on the table? Do you only offer dinner dates or something extravagant? Moving on to the second video, this woman is pregnant, walking around her kitchen, and she's describing what she is doing for her husband. And I guess she made a similar video to this one a few weeks back, and she got some negative commentary.
And that's about it in a nutshell. Single women keeping women single. I mean, they just come up with just about the stupidest things that you can't even really wrap your head around it. It's just dumb stuff.
It is wild to me that women will still be like mystified. I just had a back and forth with a woman who, like, honest to goodness, all men really want is is for a girl to be nice to them. Like, that's actually it. It's honest. It's kind of sad that we've gotten to this level, but like the vast majority of men, like, their list is not long. Women convince themselves that men have this big, long list, including like, oh, they can't see them in the same dress twice within a certain period of time. Like, girl, where did you get that? Like, all men actually want is for a woman to be nice. If you really want to be the unicorn among women, you have to be 4 things. And I made up this list. Okay. This comes from me. You will land any man you want if you just like take care of your looks, are smart enough to have a conversation, not the town bike, and nice. And nice. Like, if you're even just 2 of those things, you could probably get most men. But women are really complicating it to the point where it's like they think men have all these expectations. And it's like, no. Men just want someone they can have a conversation with, who takes care of their body, who has good morals, and who is nice to them. That's it. Like, you could land any guy with that list. It's wild that women are still pretending that's not the case.
Like she said, man, it's not that difficult. Finally, women starting to understand men. A woman starting to understand, well, how come a man would approach me? When you understand that you're not feeding the man what he needs, you're not giving the man what he needs, this is the result.
This is for my guys. This is for my men. Shorties, y'all have to start appreciating y'all men better and understanding them when they're really not really easy to understand. Let me tell you something. Yes, the females go through a lot, and we do go through a lot. The trauma that we carry on with us, it's a lot, and sometimes it's so much that we take it out on the good men, and we take it out on our men who are trying to be there for us. He doesn't know everything that's going through your head. He doesn't know why you flinch. He doesn't know why you go off on him. He doesn't know your trust issues the way you do. So don't snap on him. Don't take your anger out on him. And when he has bad days, don't take it out of him, and don't think it's because of another female. Be there for him. Ask him questions. Be genuinely, reassure him. There's a lot of reassurance to men. You have to reassure where you stand, because they have to go off what they see, the actions, not what you hear, because you have to understand that they've been hurt as well, just like you have. Be more understanding.
60% of men from 18 to 29, it's not even like they want to date anymore. They're single and they're not looking. So we're dealing with a very small pool of men, which means we need to be wise. But I'm sorry, but I don't think any of y'all know how men work. Because the way that I'm hearing you guys talk, it's like two different worlds. From our perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But we have Brian here, we have the cameraman. Men operate on a completely different spectrum when it comes to relationships.
I'm understanding the male brain. I get it now. I really do. They're simple creatures.
We don't desire that much.
No, you really don't. And you just use logic to make decisions.
This is what I was trying to say. Women think in terms of emotion, men think in terms of logic.
Yes.
So it's like you literally have two different
communication styles.
Your brains are literally hardwired different.
Everybody hears that, but they don't know what it means. They don't know how big of a deal it actually is. When women say that they're giving their all in a relationship, upset because he's not giving it back, what are you giving? Are you giving an emotional thing? Or are you, is it more physical? Men need kissing. Women
and lots of it.
This is what men say. I mean, it's really not that hard to do it. It's just that a lot of modern women don't want to do it. They only think about themselves.
So here are 3 powerful things that women could use to understand men better. And fellas, let me know if I'm right or am I wrong. So men crave respect like we crave love. It's not an ego thing at all. It's about being trusted, valued, and believed in, period. Ladies, if he feels disrespected, he is going to shut down and most likely never ever open back up again. And you know what? The relationship is doomed. So men are not taught to feel emotions like we are, but they still feel very deeply. So he might not express his feelings in words, but how he moves is communication for him. So if I'm confusing when I say that, look at his consistency. Look at his tone on how he communicates to you. Look at how he responds to you if you ask a question or if you guys are just in a conversation with each other. All of that is how he is speaking to you. He might not be saying it directly, and some men are very, very direct, and some of us cannot take that as women. But if a man is indirect, you have to look at his actions and the things that he is doing to understand how he communicates. And most of us, we don't understand that part. We're only thinking about what we are hearing them say, and a lot of times they ain't gonna say it. They're going to do it. I'm going to say it and I'm going to put it down right here. Men need to feel safe as well. We ain't the only ones that's got to feel safe. They need to feel safe around us. Let me give you an example of that. Feeling respected, feeling like he is cared about, feeling like he is enough, and not being criticized for any and everything that he does. And if you don't know, if you making any man feel like that, he is going to retreat. And as I said before, the relationship is doomed. You just don't know it yet because they play chess while we over here playing checkers. A man never wants to feel like he is walking around on eggshells. That is the worst. Who wants to live like that? Nobody. As a woman, we have to remember, no man opens up in a war zone. We have to create peace, zero pressure.
You know what I noticed in 2024? That men are tired. They tired. They tired of sitting back and watching women tear them down, degrade, belittle, speak ill of them, hold them to certain standards when they themselves can't hold that standard.
And they tired and they ready to speak out. Now, in one of my videos, I talked about, emotional men. That's a different story. But I'm talking about men who are using logic and reason to break down the barriers and the walls between the male and the female's perspective of things. And they tired. Men are human. They human. They have feelings. They have thoughts. And just because they're a male doesn't mean that their perspective, the way they feel, how they think is not important or valuable. And if you know better, you know that there has to be a balance between the feminine and the masculine energy of things. So we need the male's perspective. Some of y'all women out here, y'all lives are saved because of the male's perspective. Some of y'all women have made drastic changes in y'all lives for the better because of the male's perspective. But they tired. They tired. They are tired. And I get it, and I don't blame them. And I feel like this generation of women, like back in the 50s and stuff, women understood their role. They understood the balance of the household. They understood the balance of the masculine and feminine energy. But this generation of women now, y'all are losing y'all minds. Y'all don't want to do nothing. Y'all want to do bare minimum and then expect these men to give everything and do everything. What is that? Like, I really want to understand that. What is that? A relationship is a partnership where two people bring equal weight of what they have, who they are, what they can do, qualities, characteristics, traits, all of that. They bring it together to make a beautiful equilibrium within a relationship. Y'all want it to be one-sided. He got to give me this. He got to do this for me. He got to da-da-da-da-da. While you just sit back and look pretty, while you just sit back and be a bad bee, while you sit back and just go shopping and what? I don't understand it. Half y'all don't have no goals. Half y'all just lack accountability. And it's sad. We have to restore the male and female energy. It's clashing right now. It is. And it's sad. We got to do better. We got to take a look at ourselves. When I got with my husband, it hurt to hear a lot of things he said. Even still to this day, I'm always learning about myself. I'm like, okay. And I'm not saying we can't feel what we feel and we can't have like emotional reactions to things, but we got to know how to manage that. When someone is presenting us information back based off of facts, logic, and reason, we got to be able to be receptive of what's being said. We got our hearts wrapped up too much in the message instead of our minds. Instead of using our brains and saying, damn, like, he right. Damn, I didn't notice that about myself. Dang, thanks for calling me out on that. I'll do better. No, but we want to bite back and go at war. Then they tired. Then you see why they don't want to be getting married and all this, and they just want to sit around and play games because it's not worth their time. They tired. We just got to do better, y'all. We do. We got to do better and be better. And not just for the man, but like I said, creating balance to each other, for each other. I love y'all. Respectfully, I just had to say this.
I'm pretty good at understanding people because it's what I do for a living, but this whole sit on my face thing was difficult for me to wrap my head around. One time I was talking with my two lesbian friends and I said something about sitting on Brandon's face and they were like, what? And I was like, what? Is that not a thing you guys enjoy? And they were like, is this like a euphemism for going down? Because we definitely do that, enjoy it, and are good at it. And I was like, no, like he wants me to physically sit on his face. And they were like, yeah, no, we're not into that. I would be kind of mad if someone sat on my face. So it's not just about being attracted to women. Like, this is definitely a man thing. And it's not just one guy. Like, listen, ladies, if you want to drive a guy crazy, next time you're flirting with somebody at a bar, make a joke about sitting on his face and watch him spontaneously combust in front of you. It's a pretty common desire. And it's obviously not the best way to do oral, obviously, because the lesbians aren't doing it. So why do they like it so much? That's what I set out to understand. It was difficult to understand, though, because there isn't really a parallel. And my husband's not very good with words. So when I asked him, what do you like about this? He said, and I quote, it's just so... What am I supposed to do with that information? And you guys say we are difficult to understand. Anyway, I asked my friend David to explain it to me, and he's really good with words. I understand it now, so ladies, listen up. He's like, you know when somebody wins the lottery and they just want to like swim in a bathtub of money and just like revel in it? And I was like, oh wait, do you mean like when I see like liquid chocolate and I just like want it all over my face and like want to swim in a pool of it? And he's like, yeah, that's what it is. That's how we feel about your lower halves. And I was like, oh.
Women, some of them won't do this because they have an insecurity within themselves. And I get it. But the insecurity is coming from you. And a man has to help you with that because that's what you're looking for. But, you know, it's explained well. Like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to be immersed. Y'all talk about wanting a man to obsess over you. He's obsessing over you. Like, he's wanting your body in a certain way. That's it.
All right. Just a disclaimer. This might be offensive to some people. No, it will be offensive. It might be painful to hear. Somebody might even think it's a little funny. But to me, it's not really funny. It pains me to say these things. And this is for the young girls today. Because I hear some of the most ignorant things. And this is what I see for your future. So for the future of so many of our young women, right? The nice guy is boring. He's boring. Because nobody wants to unalive him. He's not walking around with an illegal firearm. He's out here looking for the ops. He's trying to establish himself in his career and move up in his job. When you cry, he wants to fix it. He tries to make it better. He wants to give you whatever will make you better. So he's soft. He's a simp. But the guy you want is the type of guy who, if he cheats on you and then you try to get your lick back, he's going to whoop your ass like you stole his re-up money. He walks around with an illegal firearm, who says he's on demon time, and he has an entire neighborhood actively searching for him so they got to unalive him. This is your future baby daddy. The one who, when you are 45 years old, you're still going to be crying about saying was the love of your life with a big-ass R.I.P. tattoo on your bosom. The one who beat you, cheated on you, dragged you out of the club when you were drunk and inappropriate. The one you broke up with, who then came and shot up your house, even though his child and you and your mama were all in there. And the one you got back with for your third child, because the first kid is his too, but the second one wasn't because you were on a break. This is the exciting life that y'all out here looking for. Because the guy who doesn't have ops is boring. The guy who tries to make things work even when you gaslight him, he's weird and he's soft. Because he told you not to go to the club with your ass hanging out your skirt. He's soft. The guy who's boring, who has family barbecues and reunions, and his parents are still married, or at least they can be in the same room together, they get along, and they're concerned with their lineage, with the future of their children, their grandchildren, great children. His nephew's birthday party was too boring for you. His little sister's piano recitals aren't your speed. It's just all too boring, right? This is the boring guy that you cheated on and keep getting back at your baby dad with. Because you wanted to be able to play the victim. Because the story about the narcissist trap ninja allowed you to do that. It was believable. But with the nice guy, believe me, you are the villain. And this is the music and the movies and the reality shows that are promoted to our community. And yes, like I said, some of it might sound funny, but it's extremely sad. And this is the result of generational deterioration of community, family, pride, loyalty, and education. And if you don't know, your kids will repeat it, and their kids will repeat it, and they'll just keep going and going and going and going. Sad.
Men are so simple that it's complicated for us women to understand because we're so complex. Like, for example, I step out with my man, and the only thing I know what to do is shut the fuck up until I'm fucking spoken to. Like, I went out with him, like, it was in Arizona. We were in Tempe, Arizona. His whole, like, team had, like, a section or whatever. He was like, babe, do you want to go out to the club? I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't speak to anybody until somebody speaks to me because I don't know these niggas. I don't know them. Like, what am I speaking to you for? I'm here with my man. My duty as his woman is to shut up until I am spoken to. And even if I am spoken to by one of his teammates, you keep it short and sweet.
Her thought process and the way she, like, just the idea reminds me of a woman. I think she was complaining about her husband and her, her friends and their friends going out on like a little date or like lunch or something like that. And she was upset with the men because the men, they sat down, they ordered a glass of wine for themselves, and they didn't stop and ask the women if they wanted to just get a bottle for the table, or do y'all want to share appetizers. They just went in and got what they wanted, and they were upset about that. And it's like, y'all go to this restaurant and y'all are trying to maybe you want to get this, and she went into like a really detailed, weird sort of, I wanted to make sure that she liked this and this person liked that, and this person got this, and we could all get what we wanted, but I was afraid of this. And a man didn't already ordered all of this complicated stuff that you're talking about. I've already ordered. Well, should we get a glass of wine? Should we get a bottle of wine? I've already ordered wine. It's sitting right here in front of me. So we don't need to talk about it because it's already done. Oh, should we get an appetizer? Don't need to talk about it either because it's already done. It's already done. Modern women are out here overcomplicating things when they don't really need to. It's really that simple.
Harsh truths about guys that us ladies need to understand. Hi, hello, it's Ann. Guys, let me know if I'm wrong. Ladies, pay attention. Let's go. 1, they love their alone time. It has nothing to do with us. They're not in a bad mood. It's the same thing with them not wanting to talk, and they're just quiet. Most of the time, if not all the time, there's really nothing wrong. 2, sis, if you are wondering if he likes you, he literally does not reply to you like ever. And I understand that they can be busy, but if they don't tell you and let you know, oh, sorry, I was busy, they don't like you. They are not interested. And 3, him and his boys do acknowledge the beauty of another girl. If you ask him, he's gonna deny it. And I know that's probably something you don't really want to hear, but what you need to understand is that just because he acknowledges another girl's beauty doesn't mean that he has feelings for her. Just saying. And bonus, guys, do not take hints. If you normally get mad at him and expect him to understand why without actually telling him why, he is going to get mad annoyed. Come direct and just let him know what made you upset.
And I thought that it was his unique experience for a moment, because he gave an example, like, if my girl is too tired to cook dinner one day, I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. But if I forget to take out the trash, it's a big issue. I accept her humanity, but she don't accept mine. And so I kind of looked around the room to see, and when I paid attention, every man was nodding their head. So I asked the room, does that resonate? And they were like, yeah, I don't feel appreciated. I don't know what that even feels like. And that grieved my soul, because I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't think women realize that what our complaints does to a man who is in love.
Yeah, lustful men are always the easiest targets, and women know that. That's why the only way they can get proximity to certain types of men or men they like is through the act of lust. But once they get them, they're still never really settled in their spirit because they know they had to use lust. And they know that lust is something that every woman has, baby. Every woman can provide lust. And that's why there's this never-ending cycle. There's this never-ending competition amongst women because women understand how women move, what women possess. We already know that. We know what women have. We know what women possess. We know how women can lure men in because you had to do it. You did it to get that man because you knew he was lustful. You lured him in with your lust. And now you got him and you scared to death. You scared out your mind that there's another woman that can lure him in just like you. That's why I don't judge the way that women choose to interact with men, but you have to be very careful because how you get them, a lot of times is how you lose them. This is one of the reasons, as beautiful as I believe that I am, as sexy as I know I can be, as much as I love doing certain things in the bedroom, I've never led with those things because I've always known that I've always been in search of longevity. I've always been in search of things that are priceless. I've always been in search of the safety, the respect, the honor, the things that require a little bit more. You gotta be real careful out here playing certain games. Yeah.
I could not live one day as a man. No way. Not only do men have to have themselves together, but they have to make sure the people that are following them are in order too. So he has to have eyesight not only for himself, but for everybody else around him. He has to lead everybody else, which means he does have to take his feelings and gobble them so that everybody else can lean on him. And I can't handle that. I want to be soft, I want to be coddled, I want to be taken care of, I want to hug. And I want a lot of grace when I make a mistake and I mess up. And a lot of women, we expect that other people give us grace. I mean, if I make a mistake, you should know that my emotions and my feelings got involved and I didn't mean it. But God forbid a man does that.
You could make nothing and I could make all the finances for a house. But if you're loyal to me, I'll stay.
Okay, let me whoa. Let me rewind because I might have misheard. You said that if you're dating a man and he's making no money at all,
yep, that
you would stay dating him as long as he's loyal.
I could, because guess what? There are men out here who make so much money, but they're fucking trash.
True.
And I've ran into it.
True.
So why would I not take the lesser amount with someone who values and respects me over a dude who's making all this money and wants to throw these things in my face? Bitch, I could buy this shit myself. I don't need that. I could do it myself.
So you're saying you're willing to take care of a man is what you're saying?
I have. But guess what? I also have with the intentions of knowing that the man I want is trying to aspire to be better.
But my question would be, better how? Because for some of these modern women, you cannot live up to their expectations no matter how hard you work. So he might have gotten better in that he went from, like somebody that's, I guess, a regular worker to somebody that's a supervisor and then a manager. But she's thinking, yeah, you're a manager, but you need to be a CEO. So unfortunately, with modern women, you have to define what you actually mean.
Bros, as a woman, I sometimes don't understand women either. The logic doesn't make any type of sense. Like, you want a man, you want to attract a man, but you acting like one. Where's the logic over here? And you're talking about, oh, I'm attracting guys that act like women, because you're a fucking man. You're a man. All right? You think you're feminine by demanding a guy paying for your shit, but that's not feminine. That's not feminine. You have to understand what divine feminine is, and I'm not gonna sit here and explain it in this video. So, but that's what like mind boggles me. Like, you acting like a man is only gonna attract a fucking simp.
Here are 5 things men wish women would understand. I've done some research. Let's get into it. Number 1, men want to feel desired and appreciated too. It's not just all about you. Number 2, men crave to be respected more so than their desire to be loved. Number 3, men are visual creatures. Attraction usually comes first with guys. Then the rest of the package is taken into account. That's why, ladies, it's important to keep yourself up. Give them something to look at. Number 4, men sometimes desire personal space, alone time to recharge, play their video game, hang with their boys, scroll mindlessly on their phone. They just need that space. Don't take it personal. Number 5, men communicate differently than women. So if your expectation is for your man to communicate like you, your expectation is unrealistic.
Men are so deep. And one of the misses is that they're superficial. Men love women's bodies. So ladies, you don't have to be so hard on yourselves.
The other thing I always like to remind women is to never ever point your flaws out to a man. We see everything that's wrong. Okay. We know our bodies, but men don't see it. And that's the really cool thing about a man being single focused is when you're going into the bedroom and whether you have, whatever you are wearing, if it's lingerie or a t-shirt or you're naked, he is just so excited that you're there. He is not judging your body. Don't start saying, oh, I know I'm fat, or do I look fat, or look at the cellulite, or look at the stretch marks. Don't do that. He doesn't notice them. He's so focused on just getting into your body. So don't ever point it out. I remember one girl saying, you know, I was dating this guy. Everything was great. He was so hot. Our relationship was just very, you know, chemistry oriented. And it was great. And then one day he just breaks it off.
There's a difference between men and women that I do not think a lot of people know. And I know I didn't. When I was married, we used to kind of spat about this. And if we had been able to put a name to this, I think things probably would have looked a lot differently for us. But men and women run on different cycles. So first I'm going to explain that, and then I'm going to tell you why this is so important to understand. But men are on a 24-hour cycle. So they're on a circadian rhythm. And every morning they wake up with their testosterone high, and it slowly lowers throughout the day. And then that happens again the next day, the next day, the next day. So that's why men thrive most of the time really well on routine. Whereas women are on a 28-day cycle. And they go through 4 phases in that cycle. We know it's the menstrual, follicular, ovulatory, and luteal. And so women change a lot throughout the month. And that's why they don't always thrive the best on consistency and routine. They are better off listening to their body intuitively based on how they're feeling that day. And so this can bring a difference in the relationship because men are used to this routine and they're okay with showing up almost the same way every day unless they're exhausted or lost sleep or whatever it might be. Whereas women are constantly changing. And I am not telling you that this is a loophole for women, because I know that sometimes it is used that way. What I'm saying is that there is a deep need to understand this about each other so that you can clearly communicate your needs, your boundaries, your desires during the month. And so it might be a little bit easier for a man to come to his own conclusions because again, he's a little bit more consistent, a little bit more routine. Whereas a woman should understand her cycle so that she can better explain this to him so that they can get on a good routine of, oh, okay, she's in her luteal phase. Maybe we won't be going to the gym, the grocery store, this, that, the other thing today like we would if she was in her follicular phase or her ovulatory phase. Trust me, these changes, they matter. And the better that you can communicate them and get on this level ground together in understanding, in knowledge, the better off you'll be.
Somebody in the comments said, I think men can understand this. They just don't want the woman using this as an excuse to treat them badly, which a lot of women do. They use certain things as a pass, a free hall pass to act crazy, talk to a man sideways, and just be on the internet saying, yeah, I talk to him crazy, but I'm just a girl. Nah, it's not funny. Quit doing that.